Government pension offset. Let's talk about this. A lot of people don't know how this works, and it's a big deal if this affects you. Teachers, in particularly, a lot of the police officers, firefighters, and whatnot. I had a guy the other day from Philadelphia, part of the Philadelphia City Police Force, and he said he hasn't paid into Social Security for 22 years. So if you haven't paid into Social Security and you work for a government that has a pension that's not paying to Social Security, again, a lot of Leos, a lot not. I'd say good about a third, close to 40%. It seems like, at least in my surveys, about 40% Leos, law enforcement officers, don't pay into Social Security. So GPO is a big deal. A lot of teachers. In this case, we're going to talk about a Texas teacher here. So let's go into this. One small question. This from a couple of guys, a guy and a lady I worked with in Texas, who they had some money with a small amount with Morgan Stanley. My friend here is about to retire, and I think he had like $1.5 million that he was going to roll over. And I think Morgan Stanley, the guy he was working with, was assuming he was going to get the proceeds to get that 1% a year fee. And I said, look, just go to Vanguard. So they have their Vanguard call the other day. It was interesting. I'll share some of that information with you as well. But they said, one small question. Our Morgan Stanley guy is not taking this well. He is saying that my wife would be eligible for a spousal benefit of 2/3 of her pension, and this amount would be higher if I waited till FRA. Does this make sense? He says many advisors do not understand Social Security benefits for teachers and assume none is available. And he's talking about in regard to the GPO, the government pension offset. So let's just read exactly what the GPO says. Because this is, man, it's nuts, man. GPO, straight from a Social Security source here. This is socialsecurity.gov/ you just type in GPO and you'll get to it. Government pension offset. Your non-covered pension may affect your benefits as a spouse or widow or widower. If you receive a pension from a government job in which you did not pay Social Security taxes, some or all of your Social Security spouse's widow's benefit may be offset due to that pension. The offset is referred to as a government pension offset. So remember, we have the windfall elimination provision, WEP, that affects you and your own benefit. And I think the max that you lose on WEP is $454 this year. It goes up each year. The GPO is for your survivor benefit or your spousal benefit. It has nothing to do with your own benefit because you don't get any, essentially. But if you were to receive a survivor benefit or a spousal benefit, it could be reduced where you don't get anything. So let's talk about it. The GPO reduces the amount of your Social Security spouse's or widow's benefit by 2/3 of the amount of your government pension. For example, if you receive a monthly civil service pension of $600, so you're a teacher, you got a $600 a month pension, 2/3 of that, or $400, must be used to offset your Social Security's benefit. If you are eligible for a $500 a month spousal benefit, you will receive $100 a month from Social Security because you are going to get $600 as your pension from your county teachers union, whatever. Of that, 2/3 of that will be reduced for GPO. So you'll only get $400 of that will be subtracted from your pension. So $400 of your $600 pension will be removed just because of GPO. Does that make sense? And so now your spousal benefit is $500 because that would essentially will say your spouse had a PIA of $1,000. So your spousal benefit is $500 a month. But you're going to lose 2/3 of that because of the GPO. You're going to lose $400, not 2/3 of the spousal benefit, but you're going to lose 2/3 of your government pension because of GPO. So in this case, you're only going to make $100 a month. Clear as mud, right? Well, let's put it this way. Let's say you had a pension, your own pension was $1,000. You'll lose 2/3 of that. In that case, you're going to lose $660 roughly. Well, if your spousal benefit is only $500, you're going to lose everything. You're not going to have any spousal benefit at all because of GPO. Now, if the spousal benefit was $500, and that means the survivor benefit, we'll say, was $1,000, you will lose $660 of that survivor benefit when your spouse dies. So your gain was at $340 or something like that. So you will get that, but you will lose, again, 2/3 of your government pension. And that's why they call it the government pension offset, because you haven't been paying into Social Security. So here, some widows are exempt from the offset. Generally, your Social Security benefit as a spouse, widow, or widower will not be reduced if you are receiving a government pension that is not based on your earnings, or are a federal, including civil service offset, state or local government employees whose pension is based on the job in which you are paying Social Security taxes. And again, that's what it comes down to. If you are paying into Social Security taxes, you won't be offset because you were literally paying the taxes. So now every single union has its own contracts, its own rules. So every single department might say, oh, we recognize the GPO, so we're going to increase your pension by a certain amount. That might be the case. Highly suspect that's not the case the bulk of the time, though. So in this case, remember the GPO, the government pension offset. If you haven't been paying into Social Security, you will lose 2/3 of the benefit of your spousal or widow's benefit, 2/3 of what you're receiving as your government pension. So if your widow's benefit is $1,000 a month, and your pension is $1,000 a month, you're going to lose 2/3 of that widow's benefit because your pension and your widow's benefit are the same. So you'll get, again, $340. If your spousal benefit is $500 a month and your government pension is $1,000, you're not going to get any spousal benefit because 2/3 of the government pension offset is more than your spousal benefit. Hope that makes sense. A lot going on there with GPO, so just keep that in mind. It's an important thing to understand. All right, thanks. We'll see you next time.